season gets rolling on Thursday, which means it's time for our over-under picks. Justin, I kicked your ass last year, so it's important that we do this again so I can hold on to my title. So, let's start with the East Division. Ticats, Argos, both listed at 10.5 wins. Over-under, what do you got?
Turns out the man with a big gray beard makes him even cockier. We'll see. It's got to get turned around here. Ticats and Argos, both at 10.5 wins, Drew. So essentially what you have to decide is who's going to win the season series because they play each other 3 times. And I think these two teams will be battling for top spot in the East Division. A lot of hype around the Argos. BMO Field, their Canadian talent. Ricky Ray looking like, quote, the old Ricky Ray with that fully healed shoulder. But I think the Ticats are being a little underrated. Yes, Zach Collaros is on the 6-game injured list. He's going to be coming back off that ACL, but I have full confidence in the rest of this roster to sort of keep them above water until Zach returns for likely the final 12 games in the stretch run of the season. So I'm taking the Ticats over 10.5, the Argos under, but it will be very competitive at the top of the East. Drew, what say you?
I agree with that. I think it is going to be competitive at the top of the East Division, and I think ultimately that the Ticats are going to prevail out of the East Division. That said, I think the win totals are going to be different. I think that the Argos are going to go over 10.5, and I think the Ticats are going to go under. And the reason I'm taking the Ticats under is because of the unknowns around when Zach Collaros is coming back, the fact that Ricky Ray is already healthy to start the season, the fact that 2 of the 3 games that those two teams play against each other will be in Toronto, and the fact that there's a lot of other unknowns around the Ticats. They've done this before where they've made a lot of changes and spent the early part of the season trying to get things together. I think they could do that again this year, which will bring their win total down. So even though I think the Ticats are going to be the ultimate team to come out of the East Division, I don't necessarily think they're going to care about coming under 10.5 wins. So,
dun.
Red Blacks, 9.5 wins. What do you got there?
This seems a little high for me, Drew. I'm going under in Ottawa. Yes, they had the great season last year. Henry Burris was the MOP. He seems to still be in great shape. They bring in Trevor Harris, so they have a lot of depth at the quarterback position. This defense lost some talent, and I'm not sure it was replaced to the level that they were at last year. So for those few reasons, I'm going Red Blacks under.
I'm going under as well, Justin, for some of the same reasons. I think their Canadian talent took a hit in free agency. I'm also very curious to see how that dynamic between Trevor Harris and Henry Burris plays out. There's a lot of number 1 quarterback cooks in that kitchen, and the dynamic there could be very interesting as the season rolls along, so I'm going under as well. Finally, the Montreal Alouettes listed at 7.5 wins. That's a very low number for a team that's, generally speaking, done pretty well in the Jim Pop era. I'm going to go under. I think things in Montreal are going to go from bad, they missed the playoffs last year, to worse. Whoa. What about you?
To me, that number seems low if you just look at the talent on this roster. Now, I've talked about Montreal being under the radar, and if you look at the position groups, how strong some of them are, I think the talent is there for Montreal. My concern more is everyone on the same page there, sort of behind the scenes? You know, Noel Thorpe did want to go to Edmonton, but the league said he had to stay in Montreal. So that sort of plays into my thinking here. That said, 7.5 is low. I think the East will be very competitive. I don't think we're going to see a team go, 14-4 or 15-3 or something like that. So if the talent gels together and plays well, regardless of what's going on with the coaching staff, and maybe they can even get that together. It seems that offense is coming together with Anthony Calvillo. And I think the Owls could go over, so that'll be my final pick. I'll take the Owls over 7.5, Drew.
All right, we're going to do the West Division in another video, but I have one more question for you. Beard on or off for the regular season?
Well, you've been saying it's coming off, so are you a man of your word or not?